All right. Hello, everybody. I'm back. I don't know if I was wearing the same outfit from the last video, but if it is, then mind your own business because I do laundry. It's just things happen, things line up. But anyways, I wanted to hop on here because I've been thinking about some things, and I, as always, have some questions that I would like you guys to answer if possible. Even if you aren't an expert, I really don't care. So basically, my question is, I think it's kind of a sensitive topic. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's insensitive to ask this, but it's something I'm super curious about as someone who's never been in a relationship, much less anything that's toxic. I the furthest I've ever been in a relationship is the talking stage. So yeah. So what I'm trying to ask is, why do people stay in not good relationships? Not good as in meaning it doesn't even have to be up to the violent up to DV. It has it's just really bad vibes, It doesn't have to be DV. It can just be the other person has really bad vibes, or this person has really bad vibes. And by vibes I mean just very kind of maybe more emotionally emotionally abusive. And I wonder why people stay in those relationships. I often hear stories about people who are stuck in abusive relationships, and regardless of if it's physical, emotional, or financial, or something like that, or if they're most of the time it comes down to them being in a relationship for so long that they feel uncomfortable or almost embarrassed to kind of break up with the person, or to leave, because they're it's kind of a sunken fallacy, or whatever the fuck it's called. It's you put in so much effort and time and investment into something that you're almost embarrassed or almost emboldened not to give it up, and it's something that I've always been kind of curious about, because if people around you are telling you that this person is not good for you, or this relationship is sucking the life out of you, and regardless of if the other partner is toxic or not, or if it's the relationship itself is toxic, maybe they're both in fault, at fault in some degree. So that's why I'm I wonder why people stay for that long, and it's not that I'm like ew, why do you stay that long? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? That's not what I'm asking, or what I'm saying. I'm it's almost to the point where I'm just curious as to the rationale behind it, because at the end of the day there has to be some sort of mindset, or some sort of kind of rationale, or some sort of logic behind staying with this individual, or staying in this relationship, regardless of how it's perceived on the outside, or how it's affecting your mental health, physical, financial, emotional health, and all that. So that's what I'm kind of wondering, because it's kind of I feel if this is just hypothetical, this is just me, and this is theoretical, right? Hypothetical, imaginary fantasy, because I don't think I'm ever going to be in a relationship. Maybe I'll make a video about that, I don't know, but here's a fictional situation, right? If I were to ever be in this situation, and people around me, my closest friends, told me to my face or over text ayo bro, I don't think your significant other is healthy for you, or I just personally I don't think that this is very healthy, because obviously they're overprotective or something. They're constantly excluding you, or isolating you from your family, your friends, and stuff like that. And if someone were to tell me that and they don't think that's healthy, I don't think I would be hey yo, you're fucking stupid, just leave me alone, blah blah blah, this and that. Because if there's someone close to me, and if they're close to me, I assume that they would have their best interest with me, right? They would want the best for me, and I wouldn't think that they would wish on my downfall in regards to my relationship, right? So I would seriously consider their words and be hey yo, maybe there's something up. But at the same time, I understand that from another perspective, where you see your relationship as it is. People outside of your relationship don't know what it's from day to day, from your personal times, so it's I can see where people come from when they're oh, what the fuck do they know about their relationship? What the fuck do they know about what they and I are fucking doing, right? We're just fucking vibing over here, we're doing things, and I don't think they're abusive to me. But maybe people on the outside are hey yo, this is weird, their behavior is changing and stuff like that. But when you're in a relationship, you're so close to it that you're not able to see it from a wider scope. Like maybe there's like some things that are happening, like you guys had a fight, but like, is it a fight every week, every day, every hour? Is it like there's a fight every once in a while? Like, what is it like? Like maybe one fight to you is like insignificant, but for like other people, it's like, what the fuck? Like you guys are fighting that much, but maybe it's normal in your relationship to like always have these like petty fights and shit like that. So like a normal relationship, I don't think there's a such thing as such a like a normal relationship. Like there probably is like indicator of a healthy relationship, like something that's beneficial for the both of you, but there's also probably like an indicator that it's like not very beneficial, not very nice, not very positive, you know? Like I think once it comes down to it, I think it has to, like, a relationship does not have to be beneficial in any way. You just have to be able to, you know, enjoy it, you know, or like have some type of like find some type of meaning with a relationship, like, or like I feel like some relationships don't even have to have like any meaning. You can just be dating someone just because you like the vibes, you know. But like I feel like at the end of the day, it's up to you whether like a relationship is like, you know, like worthwhile for you, like whatever that means to you. Like maybe I don't know, you're like a sugar baby and they're like giving you the mullahs, you know, or like I don't know, like maybe they have something you like, or maybe I don't know, something. I don't know what people look for in a relationship, because I personally don't really care much about that. Like I don't know, like just in general, I don't really know why people get in relationships. Like I know why, but I don't know why. You know, like I know why people are in relationships, but I don't know why they would want to be. And I think that's coming from me being like a very kind of independent, very kind of antisocial person. So like it doesn't make sense to me why I would want someone in my life consistently, because I get bored of people. Like, and that's why I would never want to be in a relationship, because if I get bored of someone, that's me being toxic, because I'm in a committed relationship. And if I become bored of a person that I've like committed myself to, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're sick in the head. Well, you're not sick in the head, but like you knew that you were like this, so why would you get in a relationship, like a long-term committed relationship? Like, you know who you are as a person, so why would you inflict that into another person and ruin their lives theoretically, you know? So I know myself as a person. I know that I'm not like the most most romantical, come kiss me on my hot mouth, I'm feeling romantical type of person, right? I'm a person that likes to like kind of deal with people on a really kind of like off and on basis. Like I'll hang out with you like for like an hour or two, or like a day or two, and then like I don't want to see you ever again for like a couple of months, right? And that's just how I am as a person. I'm very kind of independent and stuff like that. But I understand that there are people out there that have been so entrenched in relationships from like their developmental period that like they've never known life outside of like being dependent on another person. And like I understand how it can feel very kind of like difficult to kind of exist without someone by your side to support you and to love you and to have someone just like always rooting for you, you know? And for me, I find that from like different aspects of my life. I have my parents who are very supportive. I have friends who are very kind of like also supportive, but also very fun and personal, and I get to really kind of tell them more about like, because my parents are like very supportive in the way of like financial and maybe kind of like academically and sometimes emotionally, but I don't really tell them things. But like with my friends, I obviously tell them things. And so I'm able to find fulfillment out of that. I know I have people in my life that are able to support me and people who I can lean back on. But when it comes to like people who maybe are only like comfortable, or like who only like find solace, don't mind that. I have that's I eat my bed, okay? I don't want any judgment from you guys. You guys are fucking sickos. I wonder, I don't have any liquids right now, and I'm feeling liquidy. But anyways, but like that's kind of because I've had friends in the past, or like friends currently, who have like always as long as I've known them, have always been in a relationship. And there's only been like a handful of times where I've seen them like single for like maybe like a 1 month period, but then otherwise they're like back in a relationship. And like it's always been curious to me, because those are the type of people that tend to be in the most toxic relationships, you know? And it's not that I think that they have low standards. Because like, I don't know, like maybe, because like everybody has different tastes. Like the people who I find attractive, people might be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like those people are fucking fugly. They're gonna treat you like shit and shit like that. Or like, so like what I'm trying to say is like tastes are subjective, you know? Like some people just like different things, right? And some people like fucking mustard on their burgers and some people don't. So like I'm not here to like judge you if you're attracted to certain people, but at the same time, it's like you gotta know when to like stop. You know, you got to know like who is beneficial for you and like what is beneficial for you. And like, I don't know. I don't know if like I would consider those people like stupid, ignorant, or just like naive or just really kind of unexperienced. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like if you hear from like multiple sources within your life that like this isn't good for you, like the relationship is not good for you, like I feel like there has to be a point where you're just kind of like thinking about it, you know, you're kind of considering like what the actual point of this relationship is. Because if you're waking up every single day dreading a text from them, dreading to even see them, dreading to even talk to them, because or like dreading to even look them in the eye, it's kind of like what is the point of that, you know? Like what is the point of being in a relationship at that point? Because even in terms of like friendship, if you're waking up and you're dreading to have to text them or having to interact with them or like interact with anybody in your life, it's like, well, what is that doing for you? What is the meaning of that? Like what like is the point of that relationship at that point, you know? And I feel like if there's like a negative association to the relationship you have with the person, you should be able to recognize that that's not like good for you and that's not like something that should be in your life, because at that point it's draining you and it's making your life a living hell. And in the grand scheme of things, your life is only so short, you know, like your formative years are only like so short. And like it's like when you're like older, when you look back at this relationship, are you gonna look at it back as something that you enjoyed and found beneficial, or like just like fun, you know? Or like is it something that you like seriously think that is like detrimental to you in the long run? And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are able to look kind of like in their future, are like able to kind of look like more kind of forward thinking, but I feel like also a lot of people are not able to kind of think of their future in that way, because maybe a lot of people kind of find their future stressful, and so they don't want to think about the future and just kind of want to think about what they're doing now, you know? And I think that's kind of the one way where people are able to become stuck, you know, and then become like kind of like, because like I think people want to maintain like a routine, to maintain like comfort and to maintain like a very kind of like stable environment. And so when they have something going, and even if they know it's not conducive to their like well-being, they're still gonna like keep on letting it roll, because they're gonna be like, oh wait, like if I disrupt this like routine, if I disrupt this schedule, then it's gonna flip my life upside down. I'm gonna have to move things around, I'm gonna have to adjust to a different lifestyle. And that's just, maybe that's not something they're willing to do, depending on their life situation, you know? But like it just baffles me how it's just like, I don't know, like at the same time I don't want to like victim shame anybody, because it's like I don't know what it's like to be in a situation like that. I don't know what it's like to be able to kind of get out of that situation. I don't know what the parameters are in that regard. So I'm like, I don't want to like be over here scratching my fucking butt and be like, you guys need to get out of that. That's bad, you know? Because it's like, who am I to fucking be like, to be the fucking like general of relations, you know? Like I don't know jack fucking shit about it, and that's why I'm like imposing this like conversation out, because right now like I don't know, like it's just I think about it like constantly, like because like I don't know, not constantly, like I think about it every now and then, because I do have some people in my life that have went through that and or are going through that, and I just want to see like what's going on in their mind, or like just like what the general consensus of the situation is, because like I do want what's best for those people that are in those relationships. And in this specific relationship that I'm thinking of, this person has only like, this is like their first serious relationship, and they're like my age, and like it's like I understand that like your first relationship is probably going to be the most important, not the most, but like one of the most important like in relationships in your life, because it's someone that you're like it's like your first person that you're finally opening yourself up to, and like finally allowing to become like an integral part of your life, you know? So it's like a very like important thing, a very integral thing. And it's like I understand that like that is like something that I have to keep in mind, but at the same time it's like, if you know that this person is not good for you, and like if you know that this person is not conducive to you, then like what is the point of it? Like, do you just want to experience it at that point, or like do you think you cannot get anyone better? Because I feel like at a point in your life you just kind of have I feel like at a point in your life, you're just gonna have to be like, okay, like I can't find anyone better. So why don't I just keep on waiting until I find someone better? You know, because for me, it's kind of like if I can't find anyone that like sufficiently meets my needs or like is able to kind of work with what I'm doing, then I'm just gonna wait until I find someone who does. Because do you know how many fucking people are in this world, much less in my city, much less in my state, much less in just like my overall neighborhood? Like it's just like I'm not in a rush to find someone, you know, like it's not like I have high standards. It's not that. It's just I just have like a schedule that I like to maintain. And like I told you guys, I'm very antisocial. I like my space. I like to do things on my own. And there are times where I will not communicate with people for multiple months or weeks on end. And it's like I'm not in a rush to find someone who is able to meet that requirement, you know? And I'm not going to be like, it's like, I feel like when you get in a relationship, you have to be willing to kind of like mold yourself or be able to kind of like communicate and like, I don't know, just kind of like build like a working relationship where you guys are able to communicate on like different aspects of your life. Like maybe you guys have like different schedules, so communicate that. Maybe it's long distance, so communicate that and work it out. And I feel like a lot of the times it comes down to just being like not communicative and not being able to kind of tell each other how you guys feel. And I'm like, I feel like that's like the most important thing in a relationship, being able to open up yourself up to others and not others and just the other person, and being able to be like, hey yo, I don't like the way that you're telling me how I should or should not dress. Or like, hey yo, I don't like the way you're like talking about me to like your family or stuff like that, you know? And if it's like difficult for you to do that, then maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship. I don't know. Like if it's difficulty for you to even like stick up for yourself in a relationship that you feel comfortable in, then maybe you need some more self-growth. I don't know. I feel like the best relationships I've seen are like the relationships that are like communicative. Like they're like, even though they're having really uncomfortable like conversations and being very kind of like negative in this short term, it's like they have to have those like talks in order to, you know, be able to have better times. Because if the problem, I said that really Asian like with the R, problem, if the problem is not solved, then the problem is going to persist throughout the entire relationship. You guys get what I mean? Because if something is going to consistently eat away the relationship, there's going to become like a point in time where you're not going to have anything to eat at anymore, and it's just going to be like a dead end, and then it's just going to fizzle out. And I don't know, my thing is that I want people to be happy. You know, I want people not happy, but like I want them to feel like just content, satisfied. You know, they don't have to be like every day wake up, hopping out of bed, skipping to work and shit like that. Like I don't do that every single day of my life, and I imagine that not every single day is going to be like positive for people. But I want people to like just overall, like just on like a monthly basis, you know, to kind of look at their day-to-day day and then be like, okay, so like I might have had like a hiccup here and there, or like I might have had like a bad day here and there, but like overall, I've had a pretty good life. I don't have anything like sucking at me. I don't have anything draining me other than maybe school and work. But like, I don't know. And that's why I'm like, I'm a bit confused about that, because don't you want to spend your time? And like time is a very, very like important thing for a lot of people. And I feel like if you were to spend your time with something, I would feel like you would want to spend it in like a very beneficial way. Like I can't imagine like spending my time with something I don't want to do, you know, because time in essence is like the most important thing, you know, the most like it like pales in comparison to like money, you know, because it's like money, it always comes and goes. But like with time, it's like it just goes, you know. You don't have time, you don't have the ability to reverse the time and be like, hey yo, I don't like the way this thing was going, so I want to, you know, because like it's always going and it's not like you can like stop it. So it's like, don't you want to spend that, you know, your waking hours doing things that, you know, you think are beneficial to you in the long term? Like for me, I don't like doing school, I hate it. But at the same time, it's like it's gonna hopefully benefit me in the long run. And if it doesn't, well, I'm meeting people that I like at my school. I'm like creating connections and I'm talking to people I like. And theoretically, even if I don't get anything out of this experience, I'm meeting people that I like to talk to and will, you know, enrich me in like other aspects of my life. So that's how I think of it. But like at the same time, it's like when it comes to like relationships like that, I'm like, I'm like, what is that doing for you as a person, as an individual? Like, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you I don't know. And it's like, and I and I'm kind of speaking at this as in terms of like a relationship, not as like a marriage or anything that's more serious than that. Because when it comes to marriages, I don't know jack shit about that, and I don't want to know jack shit about that because that's something I never intend on doing because the thought of that like scares me. And like the thought of like going through like the legal divorces and like the whatever the fuck, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about all that. So like this is just in terms of like a relationship, okay? Not as like a marriage, because marriage is something entirely different. That's like a whole different like species animal, you know? So yeah, so that's my proposition for today. Like how do you guys like deal with that like the that like the deal with like toxic relationships within your life and like feeling the need to like stay within it, if that makes any sense? Like what is that all about? And like I think that also goes into like a conversation of like people being maybe like people pleasers and like being pushovers and being very emotionally vulnerable and being very kind of like maybe like not dumb but like very just kind of like emotionally and romantically naive. And I understand that, but at the same time I don't, so maybe educate me, I don't know. Like I've already said my piece about it, you know? Like I understand where a lot of the ideas are coming from, but at the same time I kind of just want more kind of like a more cohesive picture of like why people do what they do in terms of like toxic relationships or like unbeneficial is that a word, unbeneficial, not beneficial relationships, or even relationships that may not even be toxic, it may not even be like bad for them, but maybe they're just like not happy in it. Maybe like both of them are not toxic people, but like maybe it's just like they just don't want to be in a relationship and they continue to be in a relationship. Like what is that all about? Like don't you want, like if you're not happy with someone, then don't you want to just bounce? And but maybe it's like more so of them not wanting to hurt the other person's feelings, or maybe they've been in a relationship for so long it'd be like kind of like an asshole move to kind of move on. But at the same time it's like if you're not happy in a relationship and if you have intentions of like infidelity, like maybe just bounce. Because maybe it'll hurt in the short term, but like in the long term, if you're not happy and then you're going to cheat on your partner, it's kind of like, the fuck are you doing, bro? Like you're sick, like get the fuck out. And like that comes back to like the idea of like just being a very kind of like a person who likes appetizers, the person like gets very bored of the same thing every single day, you know, a person who just wants more out of life. And I feel like if you know that about yourself, then why would you subject another person into that lifestyle, you know? And it's like if you're getting in a relationship with someone and they're a person that wants just this one thing and wants just this stability, but you're a person that wants more than just that, then like why the fuck would you do that? Like, are you sick? Are you demented? I don't know. I don't know. Because for me, I know my limits as a person. I know who I am as a person. And I'm not going to subject someone to that unless they're the same way, you know? And I don't know. I feel like a lot of times it might be just down to age. Because if you're younger, you really kind of fall into this like fallacy of thinking that like this is all I'm gonna get. Like this is all I have, and this is all I'm ever gonna be able to achieve. And this is and like maybe, yeah, maybe it's just kind of like, oh, like this is like the best I can do. Which I don't believe for a second that this is the best you can do, because I feel like you just have to let time like just give you the opportunity to see what else is out there, you know? And a lot of people are scared of time, and I'm scared of time too. I'm very scared of time. Like I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, like what the fuck have I been doing these last couple of years? Because the fuck. So I understand that fear of like being like if I don't settle now, like I'm not gonna be able to find anybody in the future. I'm gonna lose my looks. I'm gonna lose what's best about me. I'm gonna lose everything that's like best about me right now. And then there's gonna be nothing left by the time, you know, I'm in my 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever the fuck. And like I always kind of like am like while I understand, like I told you guys, like the pressing matter of time, like the way that time works, it's kind of like it's very kind of scary, but at the same time it's kind of like you don't have to rush into things, you know. You kind of just have to let things do its thing and just kind of let it, you know, do. Like I don't understand what the pressing issue is. Like maybe for me it's like relationships. Hey Siri, shut the fuck up, I don't need you right now. Nah, I don't need that. But anyway, but for me, it's like I have a lot of fulfilling things in my life already. You know, I have a lot of hobbies that I cannot even get to on a day-to-day basis. I have a really kind of like suffocating school schedule. I have a family that likes me, at least I think likes me. No, they like me. And I have a decent friendship basis with people, and so I don't really feel the need to like go out and seek another thing that I would theoretically make my life a lot more hectic. But maybe for some people, they don't have like a hectic school schedule, or maybe they don't have, maybe they're like looking for companionship because that's what they crave or desire or would think would benefit them in the long run. And so it's like, oh, it's just like I'm just baffled. I'm just baffled at how just romantic relationship can fuck up someone's life so badly, but like they just crave it. It's like an addiction. It's like I want to be in love with somebody so bad that I'm gonna fuck up my life just in order to be in love with somebody. And I'm just like, dude, I'd rather you have you like do meth or something, or like coke, because because like at least you're enjoying it, bro. But like if you're in a toxic relationship like 24 fucking 7, like what are you getting out of that? Like I would rather have you like drink a pint of alcohol and feel good. No, this is bad advice. I'm joking. This is just a really bad metaphor. I'm joking, you guys. Like don't do that shit. But like you know what I mean? Like at least do something that you're enjoying, you know, even if it's in the short term. Because what is a toxic relationship going to do for you in the long run? Like maybe they like love bomb you and give you like all these gifts. They tell you how much they love you in the short term, but then like suddenly they flip on you and be like, you're a stupid bitch. I fucking hate you. Like suck my cock. And it's like, is that worth it? Is it worth it for like those like short bursts of like love? Like I don't know. Like I feel like love should not be, what's that word, like conditional. Like I feel like love shouldn't come like just all at you. Like it should be like spread out. Like you're not gonna meet someone who's gonna be like, oh my god, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like that's gonna be so suffocating, you know. Like you should meet someone who's like, you know, you like hanging around them and like they show you small snippets of love, like consistently, not like in small bursts. It's like consistently like shows you like their like admiration for you as a person. And that's why I prefer to have like friendships, because that's how I'm able to like kind of gauge whether someone is like actually interested in me as a person and like actually want to maintain that relationship. Because like in like a friendship, you're able to kind of like gauge whether that person is genuinely interested in you by like just like the planning of like, you know, your events, or like planning of like hanging out, or like, you know, paying for paying for each other, or like giving each other small gifts like every now and then, and like having that like kind of time to show each other that affection and that love for each other. And I feel like in like these like really kind of small like relationships, it's very kind of like I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and it's like I guess you love me. And then it's like, but like that in these like small bursts of just like overwhelming love, and then the rest of it is just, I fucking hate you. I want you to die. Like I don't want you in my life. Like get out of my life. You suck a dick. Like you're a leech to me. It's like, and then it happens again where it's like I love you, I love you, I love you, and then it's just a dead air of like you're worthless to me. You suck. And it's like just getting butt fucked in every single way. That's crazy. Ah. I just don't understand it. And that's why I'm very curious about the topic myself. And that's why I'm like opening up the floor for you guys to kind of tell me about your experiences. If like, don't just don't tell me like illegal shit. You know, like my boyfriend like did this and that, and then it's illegal, like against the law. Like he had to be taken to court and jailed for it, or like your girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, don't tell me that unless you guys have gone through like the court process and it's all legalized and whatever. But like if it's currently happening, do not tell me. I don't want to know, because I don't want like my comment section to be like in a court case one day. It's I bring up exhibit A of a Quake QP video. I'm just like, no, you guys keep that to yourself. Like keep that to like people who are able to actually do something about that. Because if you tell me something and it's like, and then I'm not able to do something about that, or like I'm able to like bring that to proper authorities, then like so yeah, you guys got, yeah, I want it to be like a safe space down there, but at the same time it's like, you guys have to like pick and choose your battles, right? Pick and choose like what you want to share to the public, because it's not only me that's gonna be able to read this. It's gonna be people who are now reading it and people in the future are reading it. And it's like, I want you guys to be more cautious of what you put out there, because the internet is already like fucking shithole of like information, right? A lot of already like oversharing and whatnot. And I only want to like you guys to like answer it in the most like the most succinct way, where I get the gist of it and I understand why, but like you don't have to tell me like what your boyfriend did to you back in like the 3rd grade. Okay, I don't care. It's not like I don't care. It's just like I don't care in the long term of it. Like maybe it matters to you, but like think about it. Would it matter to me in the context of like what you're trying to like encompass in that comment? Just think about it, right? That's all I have to say now. I'm getting like really lightheaded. I need to lay down. I'm gonna go work on some logo shit for school, and then that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't know what else I'm gonna do. So yeah. Be kind down there. Don't be fucking weird down there. If it's weird, it's gone. Okay? If it's weird, it's gone. I'm not gonna sit for that. So yeah. Alright, you guys. Don't do dumb shit, alright? Alright, kisses. Okay, I'm gonna end this.